And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday. It's the 24th of February, 2021. It's the birthday of the writer and teacher Mary Ellen Chase, born in Blue Hill, Maine, 1887, little seacoast village founded by her ancestors. She wrote A Goodly Heritage, Silas Crockett, Windswept, about the seafaring life of people living in rural Maine. And she taught at Smith College for almost 30 years. Sylvia Plath was a student of hers, as was Betty Friedan. It's the birthday of Wilhelm Grimm, born Hanau, Germany, 1786, of the Grimm brothers who invited people to come to their homes and recite stories, folk stories. Many of them were educated people, many of them were young women. Stories many of them had heard from servants when they were small. The Grimm brothers edited the stories, make them clearer, more logical, and also more appropriate for children. It's the birthday of Jane Hirshfield, New York City, 1953. Went to Princeton. She was in the first graduating class to include women, class of 1973. Went off to Northern California to study Buddhism for the next 8 years, during which time she did not write at all. Jane Hirshfield said, "I don't think poetry is based just on poetry. It is based on a thoroughly lived life. And so I couldn't just decide I was going to write no matter what. I first had to find out what it means to live." Here's a poem for today by Billy Collins, Imperial Garden. It was at the end of dinner, the two of us in a red booth maintaining our silence, when I decided to compose a message for the fortune cookie you were soon to receive. Avoid mulishness when choosing a position on the great board game of life, was my mean-spirited contribution to the treasury of Confucian wisdom. But while we waited for the cookies, the slices of oranges, and the inescapable pot of watery tea, I realized that by mulishness I meant your refusal to let me have my own way every time I wanted it. I watched you, looking off to the side, your mass of dark hair, your profile softened by lamplight. And then I made up a fortune for myself. He who acts like a jerk on an island of his own creation will have only the horizon for a friend. I seem to be getting worse at this, I thought, as the cookies arrived at the table, along with the orange slices and a teapot painted with tigers menacingly peering out from the undergrowth. The restaurant was quiet then. The waiter returned to looking out at the street. A zither whimpered in the background, and we turned to our cookies, cracking the brittle shells, then rolling into little balls the tiny scrolls of our destinies before dropping them unread into our cups of tea, a little good luck thing we'd been doing ever since we met. A poem by Billy Collins, Imperial Garden, from his new collection, Whale Day, published by Random House and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Funded by donations from listeners like you, now available on PRX for distribution by your local radio station. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.